Hi guys, Happy New Year! If you don't know me already, my name's Jamie. I've just finished my film degree. I love movies so much and most of my videos on this channel include me watching films. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you check out a few more of my videos or subscribe so you can watch me watch more movies. Today I'm going through my Letterboxd Wrapped, which is very exciting because I love Letterboxd. I'm actually addicted. I think it's definitely one of my most used apps. So here is my top 4 and my user is just here. This is actually my first ever sit down video, so it's kind of scary. I'll see how it goes. I don't really like talking to the camera for too long. I can totally do it, like I could just yap and yap for ages, but I just don't find myself that interesting over an extended period of time like that, and I really don't like editing them, so we'll see how this goes. I think you got to do it for Letterboxd Wrapped. So I've had Letterboxd for almost 5 years now, so I got it in 2021, which makes me feel like an OG. I did get the Wrapped last year, and it was a bit disappointing compared to what I hope this year will be. So I was just gonna recap on what I had last year. So I took screenshots and was looking at them this morning when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to include in this video. So last year I watched 76 movies, which is a lot less than I watched this year. I left 23 reviews and I watched for 159 hours. And I think I must have watched like maybe 2 Anne Hathaway films because she was my most watched actor. And my most watched director was Nancy Meyers. Shout out. I think the same thing. I must have only watched 2 of her movies. My highest rated 2024 films were Wicked, A Quiet Place Day 1 and June Part 2, which all gave 4 stars. They also gave you a stat of the week you watched the most movies, so mine was between August 12th and 18 with 6 movies watched. And the day I watched the most movies was Friday. My first watch of the year was She's the Man in March, and my last was This Means War with Reese Witherspoon, Chris Pine and Tom Hardy. That was on December 23rd. And it tells you the milestones of movies you watch each year, so you get your 50th, your 100th, your 150th, etc. But I only watched 76, so I only got the 50th. And my 50th movie of the year was Cocaine Bear. So we can only go up from here. My most watched theme was Laugh Out Loud Relationship Entanglements. And my most watched nano genre was Romance Dating Boyfriend. So that's it for 2024. You get a little recap, get to know me for a year ago. I think I'm quite different now. My movie taste, my watching, everything. I believe I've stepped up so much in the last year. There's a vlog somewhere, I think it was like in January. My New Year's resolution was to watch more movies. So I totally did that this year. And I also wanted to give you more than just the Wrapped that Letterboxd gives me, because it wouldn't make a very long video, but also just more of a get to know me for the new year. So last year I watched 315 movies, which is a big step up from 76, and 42 of those movies were from the year 2025. I went to the cinema 55 times and only 27 of those weren't with a film festival, 28 were. I also watched 28 short films, and then I watched 15 films at Hong Kong International Film Festival, 10 at Melbourne International Film Festival, 8 at Adelaide Film Festival, and 2 at Leeds International Film Festival. I watched 45 movies at uni, 64 with my friend Daniela, and 9 at the cinema by myself. And that was another goal I set for myself, is to do more by myself. And I loved going to the movie by myself. One of my favorite experiences was One Battle After Another. I had like a voucher to use. It was a long movie and I don't really like watching long movies in the cinema. So I got a recliner chair, chilled out, relaxed. I did see a mouse in the cinema, like running around, which terrified me, but we move on. And I forgot about it because it was within the first half hour, and the movie was 3.5 hours long, so I forgot about that. My most liked review is really random. I went to Leeds Film Festival and I watched this movie called Fantasy, and there was no one in the cinema, which was really disappointing because it was actually like, it was pretty good. It currently has 9 likes, which is actually really high for a Letterboxd review, and myself. And it's funny because I can tell when people, like, it goes in more and more film festivals, or like more people watch it, because I get like likes within like days at a time, like collections. Shout out that. It's not very creative, but I like leaving reviews. I've gotten a lot more confident. I don't really care about what I say in my reviews. I also made a list on Letterboxd of all the 2025 movies I watched this year, and I ranked them all. So I'm going to go through them. I've vlogged a bunch of these movies, so I'll like add a screenshot of which video I watched the movie in. So you can check out the list on my account, but my top 10 were at 10, Dollhouse, which I watched at Hong Kong. I really like that video because I actually meet the doll from the movie and the director, and I have a photo with him. It's very cool. I love like going to film festivals. That was my second film festival I've ever been to, and it was amazing. Such a good experience. So it was a Japanese film, not like terribly scary, but a very enjoyable experience, so I did give that 5 stars. Then at number 9, it was Eva Victor's debut film with A24. It is Sorry Baby. I watched that at MIF, also on a vlog, and I watched it with a bunch of my friends, and I did expect it to be a little bit more sad, but it was all the more enjoyable that it wasn't, you know. 8 was Weapons. I watched that in August, and I remember the hype around it was crazy, so I was like, I have to go see this. And then 7, I have Sentimental Value. Watched that at Leeds as well. Fabulous. So good. I really enjoyed it. 6, I have Superman. It goes without saying. Bring Back Hope Core. I really missed that period of the year. 5 was Begonia, which I watched in London in a really fancy theatre, so it's an enjoyable experience anyways. Then I watched Train Dreams on Netflix, only like last month. Really good, really gorgeous. I don't know if it had a theatre run, but I hope it gets nominated if it does. For my top 3, I have One Battle After Another, which I already kind of talked about, but it was amazing, and I'm such a fan of Chase Infinity now. It takes a lot to become one of my elite employees and Chase Infinity. Or obviously the other performances were amazing as well. I do have high hopes for Sean Penn for the Oscars. Fingers crossed for him. And like even Best Director, like I wouldn't be surprised. Number 2 was Sinners. This was sincerely like crazy. I don't know, the scene where the music is going and the ancestors are all around them was like a visceral experience. So, oh my god, obsessed. This year has been an amazing year for film. Like, I don't know, award season's gonna be crazy tough. Like, oh. And then at number 1, my favorite film of the year 2025 is The Long Walk, which was my only rewatch in the cinema. So I watched it twice in the cinemas and I loved it. I cried like a baby both times. So I could do a worst top 10. I could do a worst 10 2025 movies this year too, but that's very negative. And in my opinion, I don't think you should be too harsh on people's creations because they're pieces of art and they're all to be interpreted differently and to each their own, you know? I also did a few movie binges, like, I don't know what the word is, like sagas or collections. I watched all the Star Wars movies, the Hunger Games movies, Harry Potter and Twilight this year. And this year, oh, I keep saying this year, like I'm thinking from the perspective of 2025. I know it's 2026 now, but in 2026 I have plans to watch the Lord of the Rings series and all the Marvel movies, which is ambitious, but I think it's just gotta happen. I've gotta have a recap for Doomsday. The longest movie I watched this year was Lawrence of Arabia with my dad. I did fall asleep at some point, but then he made me rewind it, so I watched it all. Anyway, it was 228 minutes long, or 3 hours and 48 minutes. And then the longest one I watched in theatres was the new Avatar movie at 198 minutes, or 3 hours and 18 minutes. I need to have like break time when watching a long movie. Like it's so, my attention span is like, it needs to be worked on, guys. I do know that. It's getting better, a lot better. The shortest film I watched was The Arrival of a Train at I don't know how to say this, Koitat at uni, which was about 45 seconds long, which is like, it's from, I think it's from like 1894 6. So like this is the start of film, and it's like, I counted it as a film. Okay, it's a film. The oldest movie I watched was at uni and was Workers Leaving the Lumiere Factory from 1895, and the most recent movie I watched in 2005 was Avatar: Fire and Ash. I did some calculations, and the average year of movies I watched this year, so like out of all the years, I added every single year of every movie up and then divided it up. Is it median? Average? The average year was 2007, which actually surprised me because I thought it was going to be a bit more recent, because I watched so, like, my most watched year for movies this year was obviously 2025, but I thought that would bring it up a lot more, but whatever. I also definitely got better at watching a lot older movies, so like the classics. I really have been trying to like slowly get through them. I have put so many on my watch list and then I never watch anything on my watch list. It's like a chore. But anyways, I am slowly getting through them, but there are some real gems in there. I believe the most foreign language movies I watched were Japanese movies. I watched a bunch at Hong Kong International Film Festival and a bunch of Studio Ghibli movies this year as well, so there's a lot to be said about foreign movies, and I think everyone should watch more foreign movies because there's so many different kinds of movies and like genres, new stories, original stories that you really just don't see in the Western side or the Hollywood side of media. So I do think everyone should check out more foreign films. My favorite foreign film this year, other than Dollhouse that I mentioned, was I watched Grave of the Fireflies or Graveyard of the Fireflies? Yeah, I watched Grave of the Fireflies, which is a Ghibli movie from 1988. It was awful. It was awfully sad. I cried like crazy. I have a specific tag for movies that made me like cry like a baby. It's called Jesus Christ. So that's up there. But the one that made me cry the most this year, there was this Thai movie called How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. Wow. My review for it was, what the hell? Started crying like a baby about 20 minutes in and didn't stop. I like, movies proper got me this year, dude. Okay, now for my top 10 movies I watched this year out of all of them, not just in 2025. So this does not include movies I rewatched this year. Number 10, I have Roman Holiday, which was Audrey Hepburn and Gregory Peck. I adored this and I watched it in the lead up to my Europe trip. I did not feel like Audrey Hepburn in Rome, but nonetheless, still a good movie. Train Dreams, I mentioned before, amazing cinematography is a 10, and I loved it. And shout out to Joel Edgerton, because I'm always supporting Australian actors, Australian directors, Australian people. At number 8 was The Long Walk. It's my favourite movie of 2025, number 8 of the year. Number 7, I watched The Thing for the first time. Amazing. Like, really did remind me of Among Us, but it was insane. Like, oh my god, I watched it with my whole family. Oh, so good. For number 6, I watched Chungking Express in January of the year. Wong Kar-wai, obviously. I watched it before going to Hong Kong, and I really tried. I was like, I need to have a bit of Wong Kar-wai in my Hong Kong trip, and I definitely did. So number 5, I watched at the Hong Kong Film Festival, and I really enjoyed this, and no one else really did, and I need to rewatch it, is Super Happy Forever by, forgive me if I butcher this, Igari Kohi, and I think it's on Prime, so I'm gonna have to get around to that at some point. Number 4, I have Sabrina with Audrey Hepburn. Adored, dude. It is late at night and someone across the way is playing Levy on Wars. Yeah. Number 3, also a name, Emma, the 2020 version by Autumn D. Wilde. So gorgeous as well. I think like that kind of cinematography is my favorite, and that like era, I don't know what the era is, but like Pride and Prejudice, Little Women, like that era of movies, or just a Jane Austen adaptation. At number 2, Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock. Grace Kelly, recommend it. And then at number 1, which is in my top 4, is 12 Angry Men. I first watched on March 7th, and I have rewatched it this in 2025 as well, recommended by my dad, and I made my brother watch it as well, and I'm gonna make all of you watch it as well because it is such a good movie. Like, now for all we've been waiting for, and especially me, I've been really waiting for this. Like my whole year I've been waiting for this. I didn't really care about Spotify Wrapped as much as I did this, so. Anyways, time to look at my real Wrapped, and then I'm gonna guess where I can. Like I'm a little, actually a little bit nervous. Okay, yeah, oh, okay, it's saying I watched 321 movies. I thought it was 315. Okay. Reviews, I think it's gonna be more than 50, maybe like 59. 81 reviews left. Wow. Call me. And then hours watched, if I'm going off like last year, I watched what, 150 something? Oh no, I have no idea. I definitely watched more shorter movies than longer movies this year. I have no idea. 583. Okay, that's actually less than I thought. My most watched actor of the year, I think it's either Grace Kelly, because I did a specific binge on her, but then as I was accumulating like all the films I noticed I watched a lot of Woody Harrelson movies, so he could be there as well. Oh my god, it's Warwick Davis. That's so funny. It must be all the Harry Potter movies. What else has he been in? I don't know. Wait, actually, like what else is he in? All the Harry Potters. Oh, he's in a bunch. Oh, he's in like all the Star Wars. Okay, that makes so much sense. I did not know that. My most watched director, I don't really have an idea. I was thinking it's maybe Hitchcock, because I did watch all of the Grace Kelly movies with him, and then also a few more. But oh, it's Hayao Miyazaki with Studio Ghibli. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, and his photo is so cute, guys. What the heck? Okay, my most highly rated 2025 films I already covered. So Sinners, Begonia, and then they've added Adolescence in there as well, which isn't a movie, but yes, 5 stars for Adolescence as well. The week I watched the most films would probably be one of the weeks in Hong Kong, so like April like 6th to 12th or 13th to 19th. Oh my god, the same as last year. So I watched 17 films in week 34. On August 18th to the 24th. Wow, and that's a lot. Okay, my most watched day of 2025 I think would probably be Friday as well as last year. In the first semester I had classes on Fridays where I'd watch at least 2 films a day, and then I'd come home and probably watch a film as well. So yep, Friday. 71 films on Fridays of this year. First watch of the year was May-December, I'm pretty sure, with Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore and Charles Melton, who did amazing in that film, by the way. And the last was an Australian Christmas movie called How to Make Gravy, and I watched that on the 31st of December. Yep, that's right. Okay, diary milestones. So we can only go up from Cocaine Bear, remember guys? So my 50th watch was The Battle of Elder Gulch, which I actually really didn't like. I watched that for uni. And I thought it just went on forever and ever and ever and ever, but whatever. On March 14th. The 100th movie I watched on May 14th was Star Wars The Force Awakens. Oh, my 150th was Emma on July 12th, which is, love that. My 200th was Lisa Frankenstein on August 23rd. And my 250th was Chicago on October 13th. And my 300th was The Wake Up Dead Man. Exciting. I watched that in cinemas. My most watched theme, I don't know, they have like weird ones, don't they? Moving relationship stories. My most watched nano genre was action, epic, emotion. That's fun. Okay. I'm like disappointed that's over now. I'm really surprised at Warwick Davis. Like I didn't even know he was in any of the Star Wars films. Like I know he's an Ewok. Wow, he's in like all of them. It's like randoms. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thank you so very much for watching, guys. I'm very grateful if you stayed to the end. I hope that was somewhat interesting for you, and I just want to wish you all a happy new year, and here's to another year of watching so many more films. Hope you have a good day. Bye.